Welcome to Shiver Cove, Part 1 Tamyra, by T.J. Shores.
Chapter 9. Tamyra rolled her eyes. She knew the husky voice unmistakably belonged to Bianca. The girls must have seen her come into the washroom and followed. What could they possibly want? Being the first day of school, it wasn't like they needed help with homework. She pondered the notion of faking sick for a second and winced at the idea of hiding while Sal waited.
Just get it over with fast.
Whatever they wanted couldn't be that bad, right? As she finished up her business, she could hear the girls chatting about some cute boy and how this year he'd for sure be Bianca's boyfriend. She detected a faint smell of cigarette smoke before she opened the stall door. Annoyed to have her suspicions confirmed when she finally exited the stall, she saw them smoking. In the cramped little room, the smell overpowered her senses. She walked with her head down to the sink and prayed they would leave her alone. She stretched out her hand to turn on the water, and Bianca cleared her throat loudly. Putting on her best fake smile, she turned, looking up at the girls. "Hi. Don't hi me."
Dish.
"What do you know about him?" Bianca shot.
Sorry, what?
"Him." "Who?" And even as the words left her lips, she knew the name Bianca would say. Her stomach catapulted to the floor. "Salem Crake. You know, the hottie you've been sitting with all night?"
Tell me everything.
"Better yet, get me in with him." Tamyra couldn't find a single word. She looked blankly at the two puffing girls. Bianca's friend reminded her of a mouse. Stringy blonde hair and a heap of freckles. The shape of her nose and mouth made Tamyra think of a mouse's muzzle. "What? You want to smoke or summon?" the mouse asked nervously.
No.
"Thank you." "Okay then, why are you staring at me?" "Sorry." Bianca cut in. "Never mind all that. You gotta hook me up with Salem." It felt as if someone held her head underwater. The edges of her vision seemed to blur, and she couldn't pull a coherent thought. She turned back to the sink and ran the water. Washing her hands in the coldest water possible, she tried to come up with something smart to say and get out of this predicament. "I think he's gay. I think that Yvonne girl is his girlfriend. He wouldn't like someone with more facial hair than him." She balked at the last one as she watched Bianca exhale blue. The little caterpillar of black fuzz above her lips seemed to be trying to crawl away from the smoke. Tamyra shut the water off and started drying her hands with a paper towel. She wanted to be back in the booth with Sal and her potential new friends, away from this nightmare. The school bully asking to be set up with Tamyra's own crush. "I only just met him." "Yeah, so. In all the years I've gone to school with them, I've never once been invited to hang out with that group. It's your first freaking day, and there you are sitting with them, like you've always been here. I've liked that guy forever, and now you can help me." "I can?" The question had been more to herself than Bianca, yet Bianca jumped on it.
Of course you can. You're one of us now.
"One of my girls. And my girls help each other?" "Oh. Well, of course we do. You help me with this, and I'll owe you big time." "Big time?" Tamyra couldn't help but think of how big time messed up Bianca would make things if she caught on Tamyra had no intentions of helping her. "Yeah, big time. You really would be my new bestest buddy." "Hey," cried the mouse. "Cram it, Kellyanne. We both know how I feel about Salem." "Hey, B. What about brothers before hoes?" "What about it? That's some stupid guy saying. Sides, it's not like you wouldn't still be my best friend. Tammy here would just be my bestest buddy, that's all. So what do you think, Tammy? Can you work this for me?" Bianca dropped her smoke and crushed it under her shoe. Kellyanne played copycat and mimicked Bianca butting out in the same manner. I just met him." "Yeah, you said that. So what?" "You're in, now get me in." "You mean us? Right, B?"
You mean get us in.
"You know, I've always had my eye on that Ivan guy. Ivan and half the rest of the boys in town." Bianca chuckle snorted.
Hey.
Kellyanne's face dropped to a pout. Kidding, girl. Relax. Of course, I mean get us in. Just bring us back to your table and let me sit next to Salem. I can take it from there. The nightmare evolved. She had to think of how to get out. She refused to bring this new Vicky anywhere near her new life. The door to the washroom swung in, and Sandy peeked around the door. There you are. We worried you got sick after accidentally eating that bit of meat on your pizza. I'm okay. Great, then let's go. We're all leaving now. Tamyra gathered up every tiny strand of courage within and looked over at Bianca and Kelly and said, "Gotta go. Later, girls." She dived through the doorway and almost stepped on Sandy's heels as she left the restroom. She hadn't given the girls a chance to say anything. Once the door swiveled closed, she whispered, "Thank you. If I knew they were in there, I would have come to get you sooner."
Least I'm out now.
Thanks again. When Sandy and Tamyra arrived back at the table, everyone else stood, ready to go. Cam handed Sandy her bag. Tamyra noticed the way their hands lingered on each other's.
How sweet.
She noticed Sal also watched Cam and Sandy coyly hold hands. Cam caught Sal's gaze and released Sandy's hand. His face turned slightly pink. Bianca and Kellyanne walked up the hall towards a group. They stopped short, fidgeting, looking as if they couldn't quite figure out how to try and join in. "Say, do you want me to drive you too?" Cam asked Sal. I think we're good walking. I guess Tamyra can decide. She could feel the heat in her face. Only part embarrassment, the other part from the hatred in Bianca's glare. "Sure, we can walk." "All right. We're out. See you all tomorrow for another day in jail." Everyone said their goodbyes and headed for the door. All the while, Tamyra could sense Bianca's stare boring through to her bones. That moment, she should have been ecstatic as Sal slipped his arm around her waist, but instead she felt her insides shrivel and dry up.